Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're in the shop and we're working on the Pro-Tiro bagger again. It is throwing the belt off again, and it's a brand new belt on there, and it's time to get this thing fixed. I was going to wait till fall, till after fall cleanups were done, but I don't have time to wait for it, and we need to have this machine running running good because Vicky's going to be running this during the cleanup. And I'll be running a skag, pulling a DR through the cleanup. But this one has to be working because I can't have, I can't be messing around with the belts and putting them on and stuff like that when we're trying to get everything done fighting at daylight. So I'll show you a couple things that's going on. First, I gotta pull the cover off, and before I pull this cover off, there's a handle to pull this off, but no place to put your hand on the second one. So I'm going to be putting a handle on here somehow or somewhere, probably about up in here, but this is also broken. It's going to have to be welded. I got all the nuts loose on this. Let's show you what the problem is or what's been going on with this belt and why I think it's coming off. This belt takes a twist, which that's going to happen. But also, look at the angle of it. It's not straight. It's coming. Oh, let me try this. Look at the angle of this. It's already coming in at an angle to this belt, or to this pulley. And then this pulley, as you can see, is at an angle. I'm trying to do the best I can here, so you have to kind of bear with me, but it's at a pretty good angle too. This one, this belt right here is straight. You can see that, but that gives you an idea how much of an angle this is coming in there. And that's the other part of the problem, because this right here is spinning this way around, so this is already coming at an angle. And I have this belt as short as I can go, but every time it flops the belt off, it chews up a bit of the belt. And that's why it's, I believe it's coming apart after 40 hours. So, and also if you notice, there is no guards or anything on this to prevent the belt from flopping off. So there's a lot of issues going on, and we're going to be addressing them today and fixing them today because I don't have time to deal with this anymore. Okay, I'm going to start this up, and I'm going to gauge it at a lower RPM and a higher RPM until this thing flops off, because it will come off one way or the other. And this time it came off at a high RPMs. Next time it'll come off at a low RPM. So after I slowed it down so you can see that exactly where it's going. I won't know until when I get to editing, but it's either off the drive pulley from the deck, is where it flopped off, or it flopped off of the idler wheel, the flat part. That's where the two seems to be popping off all the time, because there's so much give when you engage that, and the belt's doing this out there because there's so much belt hanging out between here and the pulley there. That's 2 feet. That's where the problem is. There's 2 feet of belt hanging out there. And I'll show you what skag does, because I got that one here, and we'll do a comparison on there where it should be, or what we can try to do, because I'm going to try and do some of what the skag has done, because I don't care what skag does or is. Their blower system is solid. That thing does not blow belts, it does not throw belts, it does, it works very well. The other thing was the RPMs were not high enough on FAD, which I changed the size of that pulley, and I'm going to be using that skag all week when I'm bagging, because I'm going to take the bagger off of the Gravely, and we're just going to run with the bagger on the Skag because I got to know how that's going to work, and it's going to be rainy all week and it's going to be wet all week, so we're going to see how that goes. Yeah, this video is going to get long, so I'm going to try to shorten it up as best as I can, but it's going to be probably half hour, 45 minutes, unless I can shorten it up, or we'll see what happens. Okay, now this is what Skag has. This is turned, this is flat, so it puts a belt out there at a pretty decent angle, which is about a level. But the one thing that Skag has got, this is a bearing in here, so as this moves, it's not working metal to metal like the other one is. So I'm not going to be able to do all that because I am going to order one of these for Skag, and I'm going to put it on the Protero. I'm just not going to do it right now. I just got to get a fix on it right now. And this has got a guard so the belt doesn't come off, and I'm going to be making a couple of these on that Protero. First thing we're going to do is take all the tension off there, because this will bite my fingers really fast. So there's the other problem. I can never keep this tight, ever. It's always loosened up just because I think it's going back and forth too much. So I'm constantly tightening that up every day. Yes, it does have a nylock nut, or a lock nut on it, but it just still works its way loose. And I just loosened the nut up, that easy. So I'm going to have to redo the locking nut, probably a double lock nut on that to get that fixed, because I can't have it loosen it up like that all the time. Okay, well, I'm thinking about how to build a belt guard for the bottom pulley. We're going to build one for the top. All I'm going to do is have a plate. It's going to bolt right in here, and it's going to come out and then fold over. And this piece of steel I'm using is an old lawnmower blade, so I'll just be cutting it out here, cutting it off here someplace, and then heating it up with the torch and folding it over. So let's get this end cut off. That's actually probably be right here. Get past this part. We'll get this end cut off. We'll get a couple holes drilled in there, and then we'll go from there to get it heated up and bent over. So what I've got going is, I drilled this pilot hole and I was going to get up to a 3/8 hole, but this steel's too hard for the drill bits that I have, and I'm not spending a fortune on drill bits just to drill a couple holes. So I'm just taking this 3/8 bolt, and I'm going to be slotting this with the plasma cutter. It's not going to be the prettiest thing, but I'm going to make it look as best as I can, and then we'll go from there. We'll make it work. Okay, it is not the prettiest, but I am cutting through pretty thick steel and it's pretty hard, and a little bit of grinding. I should be able to clean it up enough to where this would be no problem. But if anything else, I could just put a washer on there. It'd be no big deal. But 2 bolts going through there should take up most of all of the gap. That should be just about right. I'm looking at lining it up with the pulley. Should bend it about right here, which will work out pretty good because it's right at the beginning of that. And it'll make it easier for bending, and I really won't have to worry about it breaking or nothing. So let's get this bent up and see where we're going to cut this off at. Okay, let's let her cool now. Okay, so this next step is going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt just because this thing is still so hot. That's not too hot. Just warm. So it's not too awful bad up here. It's about where I want it. So I just got to bend this bottom part down in a little bit more. So I want it to be probably half the width that it is right now. And that should be pretty close. It's really close, a little bit higher up on the top, but I think this here on the bottom right there, I think that's going to be just fine. Should work out really good. So, and I'm also going to cut this down to about right here because I want it to go a little bit fuller, a little bit lower than the bottom of the pulley. So this is going to be the fun part. this all set up in here. Yeah, these are going to have difficulties here. Well, it can flip around in there, but it's not coming out. Okay, next problem is this thing coming loose all the time. There's been one washer in there, so I'm going to put 2 washers in there. And there is 2 sides to a washer. There's the cut side and the finish side. I'm going to be putting the finish side, both of them next to each other, or facing each other, I guess. And we're going to tighten this down pretty good. Actually, hold on. I'm going to go make a couple lock nuts here. That might be a little bit too tight. That should be pretty good. What I'm going to do is put another lock nut up against it to make a jam nut so it doesn't come loose anymore. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. It should not come loose, and that's pretty tight, but when I put them springs on there, it'll take care of that problem. Now that's tight. That's tight. Now this pulley it should not fall out of because it is coming from the deck and it sits in there a long way, so that should not have a problem. But if this ends up being a problem, which I don't know how I'm going to be putting a guard on there because this gets moved around so much, but we'll see what happens. Okay, I've got an idea on a guard for this, and let's put the belt on so I can get a good look at what's going to be happening here. Looks like one of the springs fell off. It did. That's how tight that belt is. I gotta turn that, so it should not be coming off anymore. But my next thing is, originally there was a guard that went from here to there. It covered up the belt, but it was in my way because I was having so many problems. So if I put that on there, you can't see it. That covers the belt, which I should have anyhow. But these feet are adjustable, and I'm thinking I could get these close enough down to the belt to use one of them as a guard. I'd have to reinforce it, but I think that's what I'm going to try here. See what happens. So we can loosely put these bolts on and go from there. Okay, this is going to try and stand up. I have to bend that down. This is the easy part. Okay, it's a little bit more than I want, but I got the two bolts in here. It should force this down to where it would hold it in spot. So we'll see what happens. Okay, this is what I've got going on. I don't know if you can see any of that. I gotta set this right on top of the belt where there's no room. So all I have to do is get it to set up. About right there, give this a little twist. And this will be my belt guard, of course, where it's supposed to have it. Plus, it'll be a belt guide. So I'm going to try this out, see if it works. Worst that's going to happen is it's not going to work. just got done raining. So after all the guards and everything are on there, this is the way it is. You can't see nothing anymore. Because I know it was sticking out there a long ways and everybody could see it, but this right here, there's a nice notch in there. So everything should work out just fine. And if it doesn't work, we'll have to do something different, but I think it will work. And then after I'm sure this is going to work, I'm going to take these tabs or these pieces of metal and I'm just going to bend them down, and I'm probably going to end up welding that instead of being bolted together. Make it a little bit tougher, maybe put another piece of metal down here on the side, piece of angle iron or something. Might end up even doing that. But as of right now, that's where it's going to stay. Okay, that project's done. Yeah, it's only like 72 degrees in here, but the humidity's got to be about 100%. Because the sun came out, and it's warming up outside.
And it keeps raining on and off.
Yes, and I brought Vicki in because it is time for Vicki's question of the day.
Good afternoon. So this is kind of a question we've been kind of thinking about all weekend. One of our good fellow lawn care men have passed away this past week. It was unexpected. He was 52 years old. We're going to really miss him. He was like really friendly, and he just talked to everybody. He knew everybody in the area. But anyways, we were thinking about this. If you were told you had 6 months to live, what would you want to do to accomplish in that amount of time?
Yeah, your answers down in the comment section below will be greatly appreciated. And that's going to be the end of my repair video for today, which hopefully that'll last a while. But like I said, we're going to be bagging with the great Skag all week to see how if that works out just right, because everything I changed on that, and we'll see how all that works. So that's going to be the end of this video for today. Please like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell.
And have a good evening. See you at the next lawn. Peace. Goodbye. And always check out Vicki's Outdoors. We'll always appreciate you. Goodbye.
Are you done yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.